join, but that's okay. We
Okay.
can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so welcome guys to our live. My name is Ayanda. I'm with my sister here in Dombi, who's using the Miss B Purpose Inspirer profile. The two of us are the two halves of Uplifted Abroad, which is an initiative that we've started to help people find and leverage opportunities to study abroad through fully funded scholarships. We're very passionate about education. We're passionate about using education as a tool for personal development as well. And through the information that we've gathered along the way, we've been trying to find a way to help more people who are looking for opportunities, any opportunity really, but to study abroad has been our biggest focus, because we've noticed that the unemployment rate within South Africa is very high, especially when it comes to graduates. We find a lot of graduates who are unemployed, so we're looking for ways to solve this social problem by helping them or connecting them to these opportunities. We also offer coaching and mentorship in that regard. And yeah, we're just a family who loves education. I'll pass it over to Dombi just now. But before I do that, I'm just going to also highlight the fact that we are here with Rodney, who is one of our trusted partners within the space. He also operates within the scholarship space, help connecting people with opportunities to study abroad. We also have Academic Baddie. Academic Baddie is our fellow West African sister who is a lecturer in Glasgow. So she is. It's nice to have her on the platform, because we're not only showing that it's possible for us as African students to study abroad, but you even can find some of us within the academic spaces as lecturers. And then lastly, I will introduce Lesy, who is one of our clients. She's here to share her story and her journey with finding an opportunity to study abroad, and how she met us, so I won't take her shine from her. She'll explain when we get to her. I just for housekeeping purposes, this is very valuable information. A lot of preparation always goes into these sessions, and we would like as many people to benefit from this information as possible. So if you are able to share this live, please share the link to this live with as many of your contacts as possible. You can share it on your WhatsApp. You can also share it with 10 of your contacts here on TikTok, just so that information gets spread far and wide. Also, support us with tapping your screen every once in a while, just so we can get the live elevated and pushed out to the masses on the For You page. Without further ado, I'll hand over to Dombi.
All righty then. So just to give a brief introduction of myself, as Ayanda says, we're sisters, and I'm a South African currently doing my PhD. This is my third year. It's close to the end. In civil engineering at the University of Galway in Ireland. I have been working in higher education in South Africa for about 10 years, and here in Ireland for about 3 years. And as me going through the opportunity to find this fully funded scholarship, it's motivated my sister and I to actually start this initiative, because of being aware, specifically looking at the South African context, of the number of graduates who were struggling to find employment, the number of students who were dropping out due to the fact that they could not pay for their fees, and for the mere fact that people are not aware of these opportunities to study abroad on fully funded scholarships. And this ranges from undergrad, master's, and PhD. So it's not only on postgrad. We do have scholarships that we usually come to the live to talk about. You look at your Hungary scholarship, you look at your Japan, South Africa scholarship. There's quite a number of scholarships. And we're not only targeting South Africans, we are looking at the whole globe actually, because it's not as if we're only specifically also just looking at Africa. But I mean, Rodney has worked with people who are coming from different parts of the world and getting and applying for these scholarships to study abroad. And also, I think for Rodney and I, this experience has also made it, apparent to us that quite a lot of people shy away from these opportunities because of the challenges or the rigorous application process. So they have this tendency of saying, I give up before I even try. And we've also worked with people to try and uh, help them get over their self-limiting beliefs, because I too have self-limiting beliefs and they prop up from time to time, but I just push through because I know that I am capable of getting to my goal. So this has also prompted us as Uplifted Abroad and as Rodney to offer services to people who are looking for scholarships to study abroad. One of the products that we are proud of as Uplifted Abroad is our Study Abroad Masterclass, where it starts off by identifying your unique selling point. I mean, Academic Baddie can also tell you, where quite a lot of times people come to us, what is a course that I should study? What will get me employment? But I want to avoid getting into a situation where people are in the workforce and they're not passionate about what they're doing. It's not driving them. So we have developed a course that helps you to identify yourself, your unique selling point, looking at your skills, passions, lived experience, and also introducing people to the thought of sustainable development goals, because a lot of these scholarships are looking for future leaders, people who are also mid-career professionals seeking to pivot, or looking for people who are trying to make an impact in the world. So we give training on that. We also look at the fourth and fifth industrial revolution, mostly focusing on the fifth one because it's now using technology for good. I mean, AI is a big topic that's being spoken about nowadays. And then we go into how do you go about searching for these fully funded scholarships. We've used, digital, what do they call them? Agents or models, to actually facilitate in this training. We've got videos that are recorded that show you step by step how to go about doing the search. Then the most important of all is the writing of your personal statement. Quite a lot of people struggle with articulating as to why they are the ideal candidate for these fully funded opportunities. So we've created an ebook as well that not only describes what a personal statement is, what the different structures are, and what to put in your personal statement, but it also has examples for undergrad, masters, and PhD, looking at how they can also incorporate sustainable development goals. Because, I mean, a lot of these questions, I'm sure Lesy will also speak on it, is they want to know, how is your career going? How is this course you want to study going to advance your career? How is it going to impact on the priority SDGs in the country that you're coming from? How are you going to build relationships between your country of origin and the country you're planning to study at? So it takes up quite a lot. And now, because I've dealt with people here in Ireland who are coming from Ghana and they still want further assistance, we have now gone into having like booking a session where you can now consult after we've gone through your personal statement. Some people want assistance with the application process itself, answering the essay questions. So we have opened that up. I think I've said a mouthful.
Okay, over to Rodney.
Um, Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on which part of the world you are at. I think Ntombi and Ayanda, you have said a month. I'm not going to repeat so many things, but to say that so I am an alumni of the Kader Asmal Fellowship Program that we're gonna be touching on today. So I was awarded a fully funded scholarship to pursue a master's program in gender globalization and rights at the University of Galway in the Republic of Ireland, 2021-2022 academic year. So there is somebody might ask like, why do we do this? It's the number one, the passion for education and also to share information that is out there, and that's what we've been doing for over a number of years now, posting videos, sharing information of scholarships that are available for people to apply. So I think it's also important for me to say that, we share the information so that people can go out there, maximize it, and apply by themselves and for themselves. But of course, like Ntombi mentioned, in terms of other people who might need assistance. So one thing that I can say as we kickstart this is that whatever information that we share on available scholarship, please, I beg you, please go and read the information, the instruction, what the scholarship is all about. Because the reason I'm saying, because people will be like, oh, what is the age restriction? Have you gone to search for the information? No, please go and read, and then if there's anything, then you come back and just ask questions. So please let us maximize this time today, because we're not going to be here for hours and hours. Let's maximize it. Let's participate. We want to speak less, and you guys, engage with us so that we can assist in the best possible way. Over to you, Ayanda.
Okay, so I think without taking away from the business of today, I want to jump straight into introducing Lesy, who is one of our clients, and maybe she can talk about herself, talk about who she is, how she came to this platform, and why she's here today. Over to you, Lesy.
Thank you, Ayanda. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody, wherever you are joining the live from. My name is Lesy. I'm just getting a spot so I can open my camera just for a second so people can see me. My name is Lesy, and I am a South African. I am in South Africa, proudly so. I am one of the Uplifted Abroad clients, and first time when I met, let me just try and open my camera. Oh, I'm against the light, but anyway.
We can see you.
So first time when I met Uplifted Abroad, it was, if I remember very well, it was in 2023. They were live on TikTok. I remember it was on Mohadi Ramalepe's platform. They were talking about teaching abroad, and Ntombi was a guest on that particular live, and Ntombi was talking about the importance of furthering your studies, looking for opportunities out there, and she was also talking from a perspective of having been a graduate from a University of Technology. So I related so much with what she was saying on that day. And at that particular moment, I still had my BTech. And with a BTech, you couldn't go straight to masters at that time. So I knew from that moment that I had to go back to school and do my postgraduate diploma. And after that live, a month later, which was June 2023, I registered for my postgraduate diploma with University of Pretoria. So that live session actually changed everything about my academic journey, my career. I made a decision right there and here. So I took up my studies with University of Pretoria from that June 2023, and I graduated last month, a month ago. Yes, and I finished with a good 87% average. So it was an amazing journey because I had a purpose, what I wanted to achieve out of it. And then when I started becoming officially a client of Uplifted Abroad, it was last year, 2024. And at that moment, I think Kader Asmal opened for applications, and there was another live session also. You guys, I value your live sessions so much. So it was open, and I was still busy with my postgrad finishing. I think I was left with 2 modules. So we're like, no, just apply. You'll never know. So we applied. I think I was not the only one. And yes, of course, I understood very well that there will be other people who have already graduated, who would have had better average, finished their postgrad or honors degree. So it was just, testing the waters. So when they said, no, we can't at this present moment, I knew I still had an opportunity to apply again. So when the applications opened in July, I was on it. That time I was officially done with my studies. I was just waiting for the graduation. So I was on it and I was like, okay, if it happens, we go to the next stage. I hope we would have graduated by that time. So immediately after I graduated, I got the email to say, we are pleased to inform you that you have made it to stage two. I was like, yo, that email, guys, I was praying and saying, oh God, can I just make it to the next stage at least? And then yes, it happened. And then the submission for the stage two application or information is on the 10th of October, which is the coming Friday. And yes, like Ntombi have said, they need a lot of information on stage two. So every little information that you give in there, you have to be thorough, you have to be logical, you have to make sense. It has to make sense to you yourself. Otherwise, then you wouldn't know what you are doing. So I'm currently working, I'm 90% done almost. And yes, I make contact with Rodney. I'm sure he has been expecting my email. It will come through. I'm almost there. And also, there was this part that I was worried about, the reference letters from academic institutions. Fortunate enough, University of Pretoria, we have had a good relationship throughout the years, studying the lectures, the support, the professors. So when I sent that email on Thursday, the following day, the professor replied. And she said to me, no, you know what, Lesy, with this kind of applications, you need to include this, even include your research topic. Like she even advised me. And she said to me, rather write the details of what you want us to put in the reference letter, and then we will do it for you. Edit it, put the letterhead, and sign it and send it to you. So I believe by Monday, when they wake up to my email, they will send the letter. So I will attach. Probably Wednesday, we are pressing that submit button, and I'm very positive that it's gonna go well. Like Ntombi have also said, they always put in each and every question that they want you to answer. They will always ask, how are you going to support the priority of the SDGs in your country? How are you going to make strengthen the relationship between South Africa and Ireland? Because this particular scholarship is in Ireland. So you always have to make sure that you give the information and you relate to either your academic achievements or your work experience and how you are going to become that contributing member towards the sustainable development goals in your country. So yes, and I'm actually excited, but I'm anxious at the same time. So you can imagine how I feel about this whole thing, but I'm very happy. And as an academic, I believe if I give everything my best and yeah, I meet the requirements, I believe so. So if it goes well, it will go well. If not, it will be a lesson learned for me, and that's okay. But it is going to go well.
Yes.
Congratulations, Lesy,
Thank
once
you.
again.
Thank you.
So, Leslie, sometimes people may have fears in terms of I'm too old, I'm working, I have children. Should this opportunity come for you, tell us a little bit about those aspects and how you're facing those aspects.
Ooh, wow. And yes, guys, I invited some of my fellow students. They are in the house. We
That's
have been
great.
going through the journey together and yeah, sharing information and peer support. So Mido, we see you. So when it comes to my own personal and social aspects, I remember the previous live that we had here on this platform. Ausuntombi or Ayanda was talking about these scholarship opportunities that we normally share here, guys. It's not always because people just want to study and whatsoever. Someone might say, you know what, my working environment is no longer challenging me enough, it's frustrating me. You might be looking for a way, to develop yourself and look at other avenues, when it comes to your career. So for me, honestly speaking, my reasons are beyond just going to further my studies, because I remember in January I was supposed to take up a master's degree with UP, and I got so confused because I was still finishing up my last module, which was research. So I had to make a tough decision to say, you know what, no, let me give it a pause. And then I'll see when the year goes by. Maybe I'll do the IELTS courses, the short courses around just to keep me busy. But I wasn't ready. But I was like, you know what, God knows better. So I don't regret that I put it on pause, because if I did, I wouldn't be having this opportunity to even go through this Asmal scholarship. So when it comes to how will I handle my personal aspects should I have to go and study in Ireland? I think in everything that I've been doing in my personal life, I've been preparing towards these kind of
Please
opportunities
mute,
because
Vincent. Vincent, please mute.
I think I've been preparing for this kind of opportunities because even Mido is here. She can attest to it that I always shared. Uplifted Abroad is going live. I'm throwing it in our group. We have a group of almost 418 students that we engage almost every day there. So um, I had other interests, and I've been applying for other scholarships which are international, of course. So in that process, I've been preparing myself and my kids as well. I have an adult daughter. She's 21 years old and also busy in with her studies in a university around Limpopo. And my other two kids, the other one is in high school, the other one is in primary. She's almost 10 years old. And we, throughout the year, I've been setting up the whole system of how we do our routines and everything, so that should it happen that I have to be away for a year because of my studies, everybody will be fine. I don't think I will be depressed to say, hey, what is my child gonna do? Like, all the systems are in place. Either I'm here or I won't be here. Besides that, guys, those who don't know, I work in the military. I'm a lieutenant colonel by rank as well. And yes, I'm a professional. So our job actually takes us from one place to another. So always having systems ready in place to make sure that you have the some social family support, and should you be away for whatever period of time, it is part and parcel of my planning each and every day. So should this international opportunity come through and happen, I don't think I will have a problem. Actually, my kids are excited to say, wow, mama, so what if it happens? I'm like, wow. They are happy for me because they will be fine. We have agreed, okay, this is how we're gonna do things. If it happens, I go away and stuff like that. So I think each and every person having an international interest in terms of either work or studies or whatever, make sure that your support system is in place and all your systems are running in a way that it will not frustrate everyone. Because I wouldn't be happy being away knowing that one of my kids is not fine. I'm a mother, obviously. So I think we are all ready. Yeah.
So I've got two questions from my side.
Yes.
But firstly, I'd like to say what I like about your story is that you learnt about it, or you learnt about that opportunity or the Kader Asmal even before you qualified, and you stuck with it. You stuck with the process. So we're talking about you meeting us in 2023. You knew that, okay, Kader Asmal wants a postgraduate diploma. So that's what you need to do. That's the next goal. But you stuck very closely to us, right? You never left. You never said, let me just forget about this information. When I qualify, I will revert back. You communicated all the time and you were engaged. And so that I would like to commend you for. But also the second thing is you took the information and you acted upon it. You didn't say tomorrow. You were like, okay, I need to go register this PG dip and take it a step further, you know. So I commend you for that very much so. And look how time flies. We're talking about 2023, registering, you done, you graduated, you've now applied again for Kader Asmal Fellowship, and you're on the second step. So it's an encouragement to people who are on this live today. don't wait on information. Time flies so fast. We're getting older. And also opportunities will not always be available. So when you sit back and you don't take those opportunities, it may pass you by. So the question that I want to ask you is what course are you going to apply for? Because you've mentioned that you are in the military. So what course would you like to apply to? Then I'll ask you the follow-up question once you are done. Then I'll give it the floor to someone else to ask the question.
You on the spot. But anyway, my interest, I've done postgraduate diploma in public health, and my interest remains in public health. So the courses that I will be applying for, it will definitely be public health in two different institutions in Ireland, and the other one is global health, MSc in global health. And yeah, my interest in terms of contributing to the SDG 3, 10, and 8 remains throughout all the three programs. So yeah, that's what I'll be pursuing, hopefully on an international platform whereby I'll be engaging with global peers in this regard.
Okay.
See our candidates. They're talking about SDG 3, 10, and
8.
wow.
Love it. And
yes, that is it.
That's beautiful. I just also wanted to highlight, as you guys know, I'm also currently doing my postgraduate diploma in management practice. I've been encouraging people to study further, but I didn't even have it. But anyway, I'm about to finish as well. But what is interesting is that one of my lecturers is also an ex-military personnel.
Wow.
And she was in the military for many years, and she then decided to pivot, and now she's a lecturer at the business school, and she's done a PhD, and she's also done an executive MBA. So it's also an encouragement to say, guys, you are never too old to pivot your career and go into something different. And those learnings and insights that you take, you carry through. Because even when you look at her now, the way she dresses, even though she's not wearing the military uniform, you can see, hey, Brigadier, the way she walks into class, the strictness of time, she's there before, you know what I mean? All of those things, they actually carry through and become transferable skills that you can apply to something else. So yeah, no, that's amazing. I hand over to anyone else who wants to ask Lesy a question. Rodney or academic? Batty, anything you want to ask?
Like for me, I don't have questions that I can ask, but moving to stage 2 of the Kader Asmal Fellowship Program or the Ireland Africa Fellows, I was asking on the comment section if there were other people who have progressed to stage 2 of either the Kader Asmal or the Ireland Fellows programs. The same program, just different umbrellas, depending on which country you're from. It's really a good achievement. And as Lesy, you've mentioned that stage 2, yeah, that's where you put more flesh to the bone in terms of what you want to pursue. These programs, they are highly competitive. I've been through the process, so I know what I'm talking about. It's highly competitive, but it's big up to you to have gotten this stage. And I think moving forward is just putting up that compelling stage 2 application, and we have faith and believe that all things will work together for good. So I don't have questions for her, but it's just basically that we will support where we can to give those 2 cents of input to help Lesy succeed and hopefully even others to succeed in this journey. And I think again with everything, with family and everything, I know so many people will talk about my kids, all this. And I think Leslie put it very well.
Exactly.
You put systems in place, because learning never stops, and we don't know what those opportunities, the doors that's gonna unlock moving forward. So yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I
I'll
just
give
want
I'll
to
give
say,
friendly hands a chance to ask a question, but before that, there's a question there in the comments. It says it's from is it Milo? Mido, yes. So they're saying, Leslie, now that you are employed, are you going to take leave and still go back to the military? Is it allowed?
Oh, yes. Our HR policies allow you leave of absence. Obviously, it has to be approved by the higher authorities. And then, depending how the employer view whatever that you are trying to pursue, they will decide if it will be leave without pay or leave with pay as a student. Because in the military, when you are a student studying full time, your salary won't be the same as when you are full time at work. It normally goes either 50% so that you can pursue your studies. So I've been scrutinizing the leave policies, and yes, there is a hole where I can punch. So I've been very, very busy. But also the good thing is that our South African Military Health Services, our Surgeon General actually values academic progress amongst all his employees or members. So I think it will also be exciting if everything goes through. I'm just gonna write to them and attach all the proof, and I think they will want to shine with me. I know. So I don't think I'm gonna have a struggle when it comes to that. So yeah, I will definitely apply for leave and show my intent to return back. But yeah, we'll see what the future holds.
Friendly hands, over to you, my sister.
yes, I just have two things to say. First, I want to really congratulate Leslie. As someone who also went back to school a bit late, I would say, I'm always very happy when I hear stories like this, and she just shows resilience. So congratulations, and being a mother, and then in the army, and then you were able to do this. I mean, it's very, very impressive. So well done, and I just wish you well. I wish you success in your journey. The question I want to ask, I shared your life with some youths that have been asking me for information, and I keep sharing your details to them to say follow these people, go to their website, but you know, they will keep asking. I'm seeing some of them here, and one of the things that they always ask, which I want to ask so that if they are still here, that I'm seeing that some of them are still here, they will hear it from the horse's mouth. Is many of them are young people, guys, ladies who have young family. So they want to, like Leslie said earlier, not everybody really want to go to the school because of education, but probably because of the lack of employment in Africa. They want to go for better future and all of that. So the question they always ask me is, okay, so if they buy your course, if they buy one of your packages on your website and they succeeded in putting in the application and they got the application, that what is the possibility of them going with their family on like masters? These people are people that are going to do masters. So when they asked me, I said I don't know because I'm not in Ireland. Because I always encourage them to choose universities there, given that Ireland immigration policies are more friendly, I would say, than where I am. So yes, I just want to ask you, what is there a possibility for them to go with their family, maybe later or as they go?
Okay, so you must remember that different countries have different immigration laws.
Yeah,
That's the first and foremost. So, in terms of what the scholarship offers, it is determined by the immigration laws of the country.
yeah,
So, currently, with masters, you cannot relocate with your family to Ireland. But I think Rodney was on a live where we were talking about, I don't know if it was Mauritius or some sort of scholarship where they even would consider your dependent. If you have children, they'll pay a certain amount. The second child, they'll pay a certain amount. But that's because the immigration laws in those countries allow for that. So it depends on the country that they are applying to.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very clear.
Now with the Commonwealth Scholarship Program to the UK for masters and PhD. So there is that allowance that if somebody is bringing children, I think for the first child there will be the subsidized like 600 and something pounds, and the second child was like 100 and something pounds. So it also depends in terms of the scholarship, and but most importantly, Sintombi has applied the immigration laws of each country. So that does happen. Some scholarships will be clear to say that we are only funding the candidate. So if it's Rodney that they are funding, then it means that if a friendly hand has got additional funds somewhere, you can be able to cater for your family. You can bring the family along as long as you are able to support them. So there are also those fine lines that are put in place depending on the scholarships. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
okay.
oh sorry.
Thank you very much. Just a follow-up question, and I will let any other person have their question. So, like, you know how you may go to the country on a scholarship or as self-funded, and then along the line, other opportunities may come. I'm asking this because there's a potential client of yours that is particularly interested in Finland and Ireland. Her choice has always been she wants to go to Finland or she wants to go to Ireland. So my follow-up question would be, so now that is clear that okay, Ireland doesn't give like dependent opportunity. So
For
if
masters,
for
for masters,
masters, for
yeah,
masters,
PhD you can come with your dependents.
yeah. So for masters, so if paraventure the applicants come alone to do the master, if she gets and she does the masters and is successful, definitely the next thing is for her to go back after upon completion, right? But along the line, is there any opportunity for to switch? Because like in the UK, they will tell you if you have a skill worker visa, you can switch. In Ireland, is there any opportunity like that?
I will let Rodney start with the answer.
I'm not sure, friendly hands, if I got the question right. You spoke about like switching visas. You mean like switching from a student visa to sort of like a skilled worker visa?
Yes, upon completion of your scholarship program.
Okay, so that will happen in two ways. One, there's some of the scholarships condition might just like the Shivening scholarship. I'm not 100% sure about the Commonwealth, maybe or not, but I'm not 100% sure. In the UK, the expectation is that when you complete your program, you need to return home at least for 2 years for the Shivening, if the information is still relevant. Yeah, for 2 years, then you can't stay or return within that period. Thereafter, you can return. Like for which Shivening scholarship, I know somebody
And
who started.
Fulbright as well.
Yeah.
Fulbright.
So yeah. So that happens. However, with other scholarships, it means that you can do that switch. Like I know of people who went to the UK to study, and then they afterwards they got jobs, and then
Yeah,
they remain. So
The UK still have such opportunities.
yeah.
That's why it's as if, especially people from my country, that's why it's as if they took in, irrespective of the very harsh immigration policy of that the UK has, So, but then isn't this now conflicting that you are looking for the scholarship, or your intention to go abroad was to probably stay there at the end of the day? So, from your experience and all the clients that you have worked with, after they finish their program and they have to go back to Africa, is there a job opportunity for them? Because we all know that there are no jobs for graduates in Africa or in most of African countries. So what then happened to them?
Okay, I'm gonna
Ntombi,
first go back
Ntombi,
to what Rodney was saying. So what I've realized here in Ireland, even Rodney was one of those candidates. A lot of masters and PhD students actually secure employment before before they graduate their qualification. So Rodney, he actually had two job opportunities in Ireland and one in the UK, and he opted for the UK. So there's also that opportunity of going to a different country. Why? Because now we don't have to go through that IELTS, you don't have to go through that accreditation of your qualification, because now you have studied at a university in Europe. So now it makes it easier to navigate to another European country. Secondly, we've in the first time we started our initiative, the first two ladies who came to Ireland to come and do their masters, they opted to pay for themselves because they were employees who were fed up. So they took their pension money to come and pay for themselves. Once they got this side and completed their masters, they actually ended up relocating their family this side. So they've been living here for 2 to 3 years. No, 2 years, yeah. They've been living here for 2 years with their kids. Their kids go to school here. What is most important is that a person needs to know when you're applying for these opportunities, you have to be intentional about them. One of our clients, she was working, she just completed her master's this year with the Kader Asmal scholarship here in Ireland. She was working in subsistence farming. She's coming from the agricultural sector. And she was ready to quit her job. But her employer said, no, because you are going to do personal development that is not on our pocket, we will reserve your position. Actually, we will promote you once you have completed. Just 2 to 3 weeks ago, she went back to South Africa. She went back to her position, then they promoted her. Then she was acting in a position now because she's got a master's from abroad. She was now approached to lecture. So now it's all about your intentionality and using the opportunities that are available to you to advance yourself. For example, with me, I've had conversations with my supervisor and I've said, listen here, my intention is that once I complete, I would like to break into the academic sector here in Ireland. What would you suggest? That's when he mentioned that because he is the head of the school and he sits on the hiring department, he said, Maggie, I would recommend you do a postdoc. And these are the reasons why. Academia here is very competitive, but if you do that 24 months, 2 to 3 years postdoc, it gives you the opportunity. He said, for example, if you were doing it with me, it will give you the opportunity to publish more. We can even have an agreement whereby you can look for labs, research labs in other countries where you want to establish your own research interests. And you also establish collaborations, and you can go and spend 5 to 6 months there. We'll still pay you. You should take that time to actually develop yourself as an academic, as a researcher, so that you are now you can compete with people when applying for those positions. So it's all about intentionality, having a plan. You don't just say, I want to study abroad and select any course anyhow. No. Just like we had said in the questions that Lesy had to respond to for the Kader Asmal. How is this course going to advance your career? Which means that when you're applying with a plan. You can't apply blindly. So those are the type of things. And, also keeping yourself open to establishing relationships. For example, Academic Baddie. She has created a WhatsApp group where we've got a vast number of academics who cut across countries, professionals, professors, lecturers, PhD students, master students, where we are now saying we want to create a platform where we can share opportunities should they arise with each other.
Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, and my final question, I think you were the one that said it on Academic Buddies platform. My final question is, so if someone has, okay, you said that you said in Ireland, people that you've seen that people can do a PhD from their first degree. Does that still apply?
Yes, yes, you can. So, for example, even my supervisor, he's got his Bachelor of Engineering and he's got a PhD. My colleague, he's coming from Sri Lanka. He only has an honors qualification, and we're both doing our PhDs. I have a master's.
So, what will you advise to somebody? Because as I'm talking to you, someone is sending me,
Yeah.
someone has shared your live with. She says she's at the office, she can't join. So, she sent me this question. So, she's asking that. So, if she really wants to come to Ireland and she has just a first degree, because she wants to go with her little baby and her husband, and she has a first degree, what will she do to do a PhD, to get a PhD scholarship?
So, like I said, we've got our step-by-step study abroad masterclass, whereby I always tell people to find a PhD website. That's where you can find PhD programs that are fully funded, and the application you can also do it directly from there, because if it's project-based, where the supervisor will give a description of the project, the type of candidates they're looking for, the criteria, the amount of scholarship you're going to get, the application process. A lot of times they want you to submit your CV and a cover letter or a personal statement before they go through the shortlisting and the interviews and so forth. So she could use the Find a PhD website. There is Euraxis, and she's more than welcome to take up the Study Abroad Masterclass.
Okay, so
Also,
the
I
first thing,
think,
the
yeah,
best thing is
yeah.
to
Sorry, before you
get.
you come in front, friendly, I just want to also reiterate that it's not the rule of thumb that every scholarship will take you at a PhD level if you've got an undergrad. So that is important to say. It depends on the scholarship, and it also depends on the program. Because remember, you're not only going to have to apply for the scholarship, but you're going to have to be accepted into the program. Some of these things depend on the number of applicants applying for those programs, the availability, and also like the feasibility of it, just like anything in life. So it is an option. It has happened for some people, but I would assume that it was because of that specific skill that they were looking for and not having enough available people to do it. So it's a two-edged thing, search for the opportunities, but also be manage the expectation of the fact that it's not just every single opportunity that will allow you to do that as well.
Thank you very much. Somebody is asking, is there any current scholarship in Finland and Ireland? Yes, you go to their website, go to Uplifted Abroad website. You see their packages there, and you get it and go through it. I'm very very sure you will come across scholarship in Finland and Ireland. Thank you guys. Thank you. That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to answer. There's a question here. It's just that I wasn't clear when I was saying about doing the postdoc. So here in Ireland, you can be appointed as a lecturer, but if you have your PhD and you've done your postdoc, you can be appointed as assistant professor, and that's where I want to start. I don't want to go and start as lecturer. Now, money I want to go and collect.
Yeah.
I think we have Village. Is it Village Girl and Vincent Scholar? I don't know if they have any questions for Lesy, or if they have any questions for either Ayanda, myself, or Rodney.
Hi guys.
I love you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Hi. Let's see. Yeah, this is Lerato, ne? Village Girl. I think we spoke last week on WhatsApp, Lesy. We spoke last week. We were talking about facilitation and stuff. Yes. My question is, I didn't have a clear connection earlier on, so I didn't hear when they were answering about moving with your family abroad, because I still have little kids, but I have this wish to go study abroad. I didn't get the answer because I was having a network problem.
Abutu Rodney, would you like to answer that?
Thank you.
Yeah. So what I can say is that, so when it comes to families, so most scholarships, if not all, no most, let me just say most scholarships will be funding the candidates. So it's going to be you who's being funded. So, like whether it's accommodation, monthly living allowance is going to be like set for to cater and one individual for the duration of that program. Meaning that if somebody has to go with with family members, they will have to cover their costs. However, that is also dependent on the immigration rules of whichever country you are going to. So, for example, in the Republic of Ireland, at a master's level, you can't bring dependents. You can only do that from a PhD level. However, there are other countries wherein you can be allowed to bring your dependents, but you have to when you apply for their visas, you will need to evidence that you've got enough funds to support them for the duration of that program. So that's another thing that will be need to be covered. So it will just really depends where you're going and what is the expectation. But I know with most people, like you've mentioned that when you were maybe Lacey was discussing about this, you had a network challenge. So Lacey also mentioned that she has put systems in place that that if she has to leave for Ireland, who's gonna look after the children and all those logistics. So like myself, when I went to study in Ireland, because of I was married, I also we had a baby girl. So my wife, of course, like she had to remain back at home and looking after. So it's all about. She said, I know of a lady from Nigeria who was awarded the Ireland Africa Scholarship for Ireland. So she also had she was married, they had children, and the husband had two small children. The husband had to stay with the children. And I think I'm not sure if now they have moved to Ireland altogether, but also it just depends what the situation is and what plans you will need to put in place really.
And Rodney, just on that, can you elaborate on what we mean by fully funded?
Okay. So fully funded scholarships basically means all expenses paid. So they will be covering your flights from your home country to the study destination. They'll be covering your monthly living allowance, depending how much that is. Different scholarships pay different amount. But it's those are it's allowances that you can live comfortably. Because most countries allow students to work part time, during school term, and yeah, just part time really, and full time during school holidays. So there's an opportunity for extra cash, but whatever stipend that you'll be getting, it will be enough for you. And health insurance, and so all these things they cover you as the candidate. So if you are moving with family, you will have to pay flights, you will have, it means with accommodation. If, for example, they were to sort out accommodation for you, so it means that if you're gonna sort out accommodation for yourself to cater even for your family, it means there's gonna be extra cash that's gonna be needed in there. But like we've mentioned, Village Girl earlier, is that, for example, the Commonwealth Scholarship for the UK for masters and PhD, they also cover dependents but with children. So for the first child, they're gonna cover like 600 and something pounds, and for the second child, like 100 and something pounds. So it different scholarships just differs in terms of what they can offer, but there are costs that will be incurred by you if you are moving over family. That's why I think with most people, because it's a 1 year, it's putting systems in place for that 1 year, so that you go, you study, and just see that. I'm not sure if I managed to answer your question. I think I might have said a lot of nonsense there.
Yes, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Thank you very much. No, the thing is, you get very anxious when you have to think about such things, especially if you have a 7-year-old and a
Yeah,
14-year-old. Yeah,
yeah.
but
Sorry,
thank you so
before
much.
before academic body can say something, can I please just highlight something about
Yeah.
Village Girl? Lerato, guys, Lerato is one of my fellow students. She will be my accountability buddy when we are preparing for the IELTS. So
Oh,
she's also
nice.
busy.
Nice, nice.
Yes,
Hey, thank you
yes,
for
Les.
coming by.
Yes, yes. No, that's what I like about our group is that we keep each other accountable. We hold each other. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great. Can I just mention
Okay.
something? I wanted to
Thank
say
you
something,
guys.
Tommy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Village Girl. I wanted to mention something around, I think
Wait, wait, before you mention, Village Girl, are you done so that Ayanda can bring someone else in case? What's Lerato? Okay,
yeah,
Yes,
no,
I'm done.
okay,
Yes, Maggie, keep it.
okay, la.
all right. No, I wanted just to
Yeah,
highlight
let me
that
mute. Thank
that
you.
with scholarships, like because the main purpose for international scholarship is to gain knowledge and skills for in-country capacity, to build that capacity of your own country. So that's why the expectation will be for somebody, to study and then go back. That's when now the conditions of scholarships and the agreements, they differ across different scholarships. So others will expect you to go home because you will have signed for that. When I'm done, I'm gonna go home. And others will be flexible, that you can still leverage other opportunities in other parts of the world. So I thought it was important for me to put that one, that so the expectation shouldn't that, oh no, I went to study in Finland or in France and now they want me to go back. The conditions of the agreement of that scholarship will state, do they want you to go back or not, or whatever, you can just do whatever you want to do. So that's important, so that people don't feel that they were tricked. There's not. So for example, Lindy, who's in South Africa now, back to her employer, with a promotion, other things. So it's those agreements. It means that she's also participating in that thing of just going to build that capacity in her country. So yeah, so I thought it was important for me to highlight that, so that we don't miss the whole purpose of international scholarship.
Yeah, very true.
I think Academic Valley, I'm not sure. Did Vincent speak?
Yeah. Let me speak. Let me not forget to.
You're a lecturer. You can't be forgetting stuff here.
No, I'm going to
Imagine.
forget. I've been on live. Do you know from what time? My brain is freezing. I just wanted to highlight from what Village Girl said, and to get people to know that in the UK here, when it comes to dependents, remember that there is a law that you can't bring dependents for masters. You can only be for Emirates and PhD. But let me tell you, if you're on scholarship, you can bring your dependents, even on a normal masters taught masters. So I just wanted to put that up there because some people don't really know. Yes, my
Oh, so we
my
thought it was a blanket. I thought it was a
yes, but
blanket.
people
Oh,
don't know. There are some laws that are kind of have
yeah.
exceptions to things that it's not really spelled out there.
They
People
don't
don't really.
publicize.
Yes, because my brother-in-law is here with NDDC scholarship. So NDDC scholarship is the Niger Delta, or the region where they have oil in Nigeria, and he's doing masters by taught masters. He's here with his family. So with a scholarship, you are able to bring your dependents into the country. And I like the fact that Rudy has mentioned something, that scholarships do have, clauses, because some people come in and it's time for them to go back and they are like, I didn't know that. You probably did not read to the end to see that you had to go back to your home country. But anyway, I just wanted to buttress the fact that you are able, that the good thing with scholarships is that even the UK respects scholarships so much that they will allow you to bring a dependent when doing a master's.
Thank you so much for that. I think it's Darren.
Yes, can
Oh,
I
it was it Vincent and then
Vincent,
Darren.
can I
yes.
say something? Yes. Thank you so much. This is interesting conversation here, and Africans, what we are lacking is actually opportunities. But we are intelligent people. No Africans given opportunities to study and grow, they can be powerful. So this conversation is really interesting, and it is actually guiding students on how they can prepare themselves for better opportunities in future, because we lack resources back in our home countries, and some of these scholarships offer opportunities for growth. But one challenging thing that we face is, when we get these opportunities, or before we even get them, sometimes we doubt ourselves. We be like, do we really qualify? Can we compete? Because our education systems back home, sometimes you feel they are not up to standard. And sometimes students miss out to apply for some of these opportunities thinking they don't have, they are not capable enough. And I think they are lacking guidance. And here giving them some of these guidance on how they can prepare themselves, apply, and compete is good. Is good for them. I got a scholarship for my master's, but before I got it, I studied in India for my master's. But before, I was actually doubting myself. I was like, will I be able to do research? I hear at master's you have to do research and publish, and I was doubting myself. I was like, how will I be able to do my master's and defend? And it's because I was lacking confidence of like I can compete, I can stand out and speak about my research, and it is accepted. But when I got the opportunity, when I went abroad and I did my masters, it was easy. At first, I doubted myself, but when I reached there, I was like, yeah, I think I can compete with these guys, and I actually graduated like one of the best in my classes, and I couldn't believe myself. So this is the guidance we need to give our fellows. And the other thing is, once we get these opportunities, sometimes we want to remain abroad and work from there, but we forget about our motherland, our African continent. We don't want to keep losing, good people. We lose them just because they want to work abroad, and that's where the opportunities. There are also opportunities here in Africa, but we are lacking, I don't know what we are lacking, but somehow we feel we are not good enough. And it's because we can't develop our own contexts. If these guys came back home and tried to develop and better and also carry other people, I think Africa would develop. That's how we develop, because you can't depend on, the global north for everything. Once they have supported you, they have given you scholarships. That's why sometimes you sign these MOUs. You'll be like, you have to go back to your country. And these scholarships are to help you, get skills, get knowledge, be a better person, then come back home and develop your own country. Also, carry other people along, But people, they want to go abroad and stay there. Because I can give an example where I work from in Uganda at Mbara University of Science and Technology. They would give scholarships, faculties to go and study, but they would reach there and remain. They don't want to come back home. So the university reached the time and were like, but we keep giving scholarships, opportunities, and we give study leave with pay. We keep paying people as they study. After studying, they want to remain there. So now they were like, you know what? We are not going to give any more study leave with pay. If you get a scholarship, you want to go and study, you go and study. When you come back, we start paying. If you don't come back, that's okay. We can employ someone else. But that is really bad, That is really bad. So this is good, and it is an interesting conversation. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's give Dare Irael a chance.
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon from here. Can everyone hear me, please?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm Dari, and it's been quite interesting on this podium today. So I was just to comment on what I was saying. So I was in the UK for about 3 years before I moved to the USA, and I know a little bit about some stuff about the UK. So concerning for Ireland. I'm still trying to forgive Ireland for what they did to me. But I will find it in my heart to forgive them. Yes, yes.
Make I beg on that behalf.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
I
I'm trying to
beg.
forgive them because I said I applied. I really loved. There was a time I was in love with Ireland. I applied to Minutu. I think yes, it's Minutu University if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I applied for PhD program, and the head of department vividly told me through a message that they don't give scholarship except you are citizen. I was like,
Nala.
this is serious, man. That was what it told me. I still have the message today. That's what it said, yeah.
No,
See,
Darren,
but
Darren,
yeah.
Darren. No, that's fine. I will provide some trauma counseling to you from for what you have gone through for free. So
And then I look at it, I was like, okay, no problem. You just go do whatever you want to do. Me, I have to move on, and then I switched on to the US, which I actually got successfully. So then, my point is this: I think the major issue here is actually networking, and then having the right amount of knowledge needed to actually go forward in the academic journey. So I think the point is some persons, for example, they don't actually understand the trajectory of the journey. Hence, they have some challenges along the way, and they don't know how to actually meet up with the right set of persons to also advise them along the line. What I'm saying in regards to sometimes one might just be missing of a little tiny bit of some information, and it can affect the way one applies. Like in the UK, for example, they actually have some taught masters courses in the UK that actually will allow you to actually bring independence. Yeah, there are some universities that can allow you.
His village people are after him.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there.
Maybe he got a call.
Yeah. Okay, you will
let's
come
move
back.
to let's
Let's move on to
something.
Handsome. Handsome. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. And how's everyone?
Good,
We're
good, good.
good. We're good.
Yes. On my behalf, I heard what everyone was saying. But there are brilliant companies that are offering study loans to actually study abroad. Take for instance, there is concurrently Afro Gold Holding, which is working closely with Golden Key International Honor Society. So applications are concurrently open first to Golden Key members, where you are now bestowed in your own university as a Golden Key member. You have the opportunity to then study abroad. So having companies like Afro Gold Holding is an excellent thing that allows us to credibly study abroad. So they welcome people with minimalist income to actually take on these student loans with no security needed. I can go on, but any questions about the company?
Um,
Oh,
um,
yeah. Yes, Rodney, take it.
okay. No. I'm just not sure. I'm hearing is Handsome talking about the African Gold, the company. I'm not sure if I'm just trying to link it with what we're talking about in relation to scholarships
Yeah, because
and
I think the one thing we need to clarify is we are mostly interested in fully funded scholarships, not loans where people need to pay back, because we don't want that financial burden on our candidates. But I think Dara is back. His network is back.
Yeah, and also
We
just to
All right, it's
step
okay.
in there.
Apologies.
Sorry, before I just want to address Handsome as well. It is a good option for those who might be interested, and thank you for highlighting it. However, I think the biggest thing or the biggest driver of this initiative that we came up with was to help fight graduate youth unemployment. So that is the biggest driver that we have been trying to fight. We know it is a social issue. Firstly, youth unemployment is massive. Graduate youth unemployment is massive. And how do we shift the needle when we know that our people don't have money, you know? These opportunities are there, but people don't know about them. They are there. Fully funded scholarship opportunities are there, you know? And the information is not being spoken of enough. Yes, when it comes to loans, maybe the information is more accessible, or that might be an option or a route. But let's try to address the systemic issues that we have of the past. Because when we're putting people, again, when we're opening up options of being indebted, we are not addressing the systemic issues that we have as a country. We are sending people back in a loop.
Uplifted. Can I just elaborate? Because I am seated with the CEO here. Hold on for me.
Hi guys, I'm Gareth. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thanks. And how are you doing, Gareth?
Hey, awesome. I'm with Handsome, my best friend, and he is handsome. It's just too unfair that one person can be blessed with so much, with such brilliance. So team, I just popped into Handsome's place for some coffee, and I've been listening to this amazing chat. So my business partners and I, we saw a gap in the market. Like yourself, I battled to find a scholarship. It was like impossible. I got NSFAS for my undergrad degree, and then I wanted to study abroad. There were like 0 scholarships, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. So I went to the banks, and they're like, no, you need a home loan. You need to take like a home loan if you want to study overseas. Scholarships were like the Chevening Award, all of these. They take like 1 out of 100,000 people. Mm-hmm. So as people from the African continent, we can't be like 1 out of 100,000 to get in. We may as well take a lottery ticket. So what we did, we went to Switzerland, we spoke with Swiss banks, and we found the chance to get collateral-free or lending that we can do for our students that doesn't require any security at all. So this allows the student to pay for their flights, get their tech bundles, get into a global university, and get access to education. It also allows them to study and work at the same time. So we're pivoting a bit. So where the fixation was for me was looking for a scholarship. And I looked for 4 years for my master's. And that was 4 wasted years looking for a scholarship. And I was like, we're going to have to turn this around. Gareth, I need to pivot my thinking. We said insurance-backed lending, and that's what we're doing. So the company's called AfriGold Holdings, AFRIGOLD Holdings.com. Everyone is invited to apply. We've got independent credit committees. They don't look at credit score. They don't say, no, your score is under 600, you can't apply. We look at the individual. We look at the dignity of people coming from our part of the world, Africa. We believe the gold in Africa is on the surface of the ground, our people, not
so
under the ground.
You said your name is Gareth, or your partner's name is Gareth. Okay.
Gareth. Yeah, I'm Gareth. So I'm the founder of the business.
I really respect what you're doing. I respect the initiative. And absolutely, it's a fantastic opportunity for those that would want to go that option. However, this is our brand. This is what we've built the brand on. And for us, whether it is 1 out of 100, we know that if you send one African child to go and study abroad with a fully funded scholarship, I'll speak to a lot of our clients. I'll talk about Lindy. I'll talk about Zelani. I'll talk about Takani.
Yes.
About
2 years.
Nande.
About Nande. I'll talk about Tepo.
Now we have Lesy.
Australia. We're talking about 3 candidates that we've sent to
Island.
Ireland. We're talking about a candidate we've sent to America. Across the globe in a short space of time.
Now this is beautiful.
Let me finish.
Yes.
It is my platform. Let me finish. Thank you. So, whether it is one candidate that we're sending, we
This is
know
beautiful.
the
Yes.
ripple impact that it has on the community. Zelane has been able to take her 2 daughters abroad to go and stay with them. Takane has done the same. So we're not running a numbers game at this stage. Whether it is niche,
Yes.
it is our brand and what we stand for. Fully funded scholarships, and that's it. And if we shift the needle at the top, we know the ripple effects of things. For example, we were just speaking to Lesy here. I'm not sure if you saw Lesy on this platform. Lesy had a BTech. She met us in 2023, and she knew she wanted to apply for a Kader Asmal fellowship. And she went back just from the information that we shared on our live. She went to go and do her postgrad qualification. She's now gotten an average of 87%, and she's graduating, and she's on the second stage of her Kader Asmal fellowship application. So that is what we're talking about, and that is the ethos of our brand. Respectfully so, we understand that we're not going to get to shifting the massive needle, but if that's where we start, that's where we start, and that's where we play. We understand very clearly that this is where we're playing, and if it takes us 50 years to move the needle, then so be it. However, from a brand perspective, it's not alignment. Talking about loans does not align with our brand. It maybe aligns with your brand, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just two different platforms, 2 different ways of addressing the same issue.
It is uplifted. I'm so uplifted by what you've shared. And you said there may not be brand. I think there's absolute brand alignment, because part and parcel of what we're doing is building up a fund for scholarships. So I want to speak to you after this so that we can triangulate this and make sure that every single person from Africa who wants to study has the opportunity. I always say the pie is big enough for everyone to succeed, and what you're doing is so incredible. I just said if I had limitless money, I would just give everyone a scholarship.
Yes.
Because I've studied abroad. Our talent from Africa is we always second guess ourselves. It's this nonsense notion of third world that is planted, this colonial nonsense that we are third world. We are not. We are first world in our Ubuntu. We are first world in our thinking.
We are first world in our banking systems.
Yes, absolutely. We are world class. For our South Africans who go, some of them will come back. Hopefully, all of them. But the opportunity to go and to study and to contribute as Africans and to possibly come back or live a hybrid life between two. We end up with people who are expansive. So keep flying your flag. I will market you on our website. There is room for us to grow. You see, for me, the loans was what is the alternative to scholarships? Because scholarships are so like winning lottery, and you know yourself.
They're niche, they're quite
so
niche. Yeah,
totally. So so Hansom's gonna just put my digits up there. We can connect, and maybe you and I can have a virtual coffee one of these days soon, and let's get together.
Yes. So my number is. I think my number is. Is it on there?
It's on the web. It's on Uplifted Abroad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go and have a look at it. I'll add you. I'll add you guys. I'll add you.
Yes, and I work. Miss B Purpose Inspirer is my sister. We are the partners of Uplifted Abroad. So we're happy to connect, happy to chat, and see where we can find a common ground.
Oh my God, there's more common ground than you realize, sister. There's so much common ground. We're going to
Yes.
fall over.
I just have my defense on. I just had my defense up when you guys started talking
No,
about.
let me tell you,
I
it
was
is.
like,
Let me
oh.
tell you, when I joined Wanele, and I'm taking our handsome space here, he just said, "Oh, they're talking about student loans as the students studying abroad," and I was like, "Oh my God, it's my passion because I studied abroad and I know what it did for me and my confidence coming back here to my hometown of my home country of South Africa, saying, "Oh my God." We all think it's green on the other side. It's because there's more caca that side. We've got amazing people here.
Yes, to fertilize.
Absolutely. So there's no competition. In actual fact, I see absolute synergy between us, and I see those students who come back and those students who have the potential for scholarships. Let's send them your way. The scholarships is not our space right now, and if we can partner with you, we can do amazing things together. We've got Golden Key. We've got amazing national and international organizations. We can share directly with you. All I see is growth. That's it.
You know, Garrett, it's also just about. Someone spoke about self-limiting beliefs.
Yes.
A lot of the reason why people fail in the application process is self-limiting beliefs.
Totally.
And not being able to articulate your unique selling proposition. So we spend a lot of time coaching our clients in terms of who are you? What are your passions? What are your skills? What lived experience do you have? Like, how can you bolster up your personal statement to actually win that scholarship? I mean, Lindy, who just graduated, or she's graduating soon. She just came back now in September. She had how much? 60. She had a 65% average, and Asmal was looking for 75% average. But because of the work that we did with her, in terms of how she branded herself in a personal statement, she got the scholarship. She's graduating.
You see? Absolutely. You see, the thing is, well, we don't know. I'm speaking as a psychologist. The thing is, when we're not taught how to study, how to answer the questions in undergrad, and we then get 60%, or like for me, I was at Rhodes University 100 years ago, and we thought 50% was a pass and 51% was distinction. So that was our joke back in the day. So we were like, distinction, hi boy, that's never going to happen. And then when I went to UNISA, it was like higher grades and I suppose maturity. But I can't speak for men. We don't mature beyond the age of 7. So I can just say that for men. Speaking about it on behalf of all men, women mature.
Please don't start a
Don't start a gender war.
We're not starting a gender war. I'm on your side. But ladies, keep shining your light and become. I'm seeing like almost like a vortex of scholarship opportunities coming your way. And the fact that you're coaching your clients, this is a major differentiator for you as an organization. It shows you're putting your money where your mouth is, in terms of, because we all need coaching and we all need support. Like, how do I answer this question? Tell me about yourself. We don't know where to start. I mean, tell us, okay, I'm from Umkanduli. Okay, so what else? We don't know how to market ourselves. We don't know what they're asking for. So I'm going to get your details. I've got it. We'll connect. We'll do a social coffee. It's free, what I can afford. until we meet face to face. I'm going to hand back to Handsome. Just keep shining, ladies.
Thank you so
It's so
much.
great to be part of this. I'm so energized being here.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
And handing you back to Handsome.
All right, then.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Thanks for taking my phone.
Thank you, handsome. Thank you.
Thank you, handsome.
You're not just a handsome
problem.
face.
No problem, guys.
All righty. Okay, let's also give Mido a chance. I think Mido.
Wait, Dara was still speaking when you got
Okay,
cut.
Dara was
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just try to make it brief and short. Basically, like you guys have said, the truth be told, I think is a serious academic knowledge gap, and it will actually wow some persons over there in Africa to know the number of scholarships that are out there that people don't actually know about. That's it. To actually wow people to know that. And some persons, I would say, will actually be shocked to know the number of scholarships that are out there. I mean, in countries within Europe and even within North and South America.
Yes.
And because it's shocking.
Even
Because
Asia,
some
my
persons,
brother.
even in
Even
Asia,
Asia.
some persons like it was shocking for me to know that some persons do not actually know that with your bachelor's degree you can go straight to a PhD. Some persons are shocked, and when I tell some persons, they still be like, "No, it's not possible." I tell some persons within West Africa that I've had the course to talk to us, like I've seen people travel abroad on scholarship, and I don't think some of them are even better than you are.
Yes.
That's the truth. So sometimes you see this anxiety, this fear, and so on and so forth. And I tell yourself, and I've moved, at least I've studied in the UK, now in the USA, and I tell you, some of these guys that I see over here, they are not as bold as we are. That's the truth. The average African can defend an absolute rubbish and make it make sense. That's the truth. We can defend anything. We can come out of any hole, any loophole, and just come out. And you basically leave the conference hall before you realize that this guy just said rubbish and defended rubbish. So we just always have a way out. So like I said, I believe in this knowledge gap is actually the main thing. When you understand the knowledge gap, you're able to fill this knowledge gap with having the right network and also the right persons to actually you to direct you. It goes a long way. Having said that, I'll just drop in what I was trying to say last. So basically, concerning the issue of dependence, there are actually schools within the UK that the most of them, the level of this university is ROQF level 7 and over. You can actually go, even though you are doing a third masters, you can still come with your dependents. There are universities actually like that in the UK because their rule is if your master's degree is over 1 year and 5 months, you can actually come with your dependents because there are master's degrees that are just for 1 year. So if it's over 1 year and 5 months, you can come to it. Like for example, there are some courses in University of Manchester, University of Hertfordshire, and basically University of Sunderland. And you can basically, I know of people who are there. Some were my classmates in Nigeria, so they have gone there and they went there with their family. So I think, like you said, people explore these opportunities, and this platform is a wonderful one because they are drawing people's attention to be able to explore opportunities. And like I said, most people, their problem is they are afraid, they don't know how to start. And they need someone to encourage them, to give them that confidence and tell them, no, people that are doing this, some of them is not that they have 2 or 3 heads. Some of us are actually better than them. And that is just the truth. So the bolder people become, the better it is. And that's the issue. So thank you very much for this platform. It's been nice following you guys today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I think middle. You are mute. We can't hear you, host.
Oh, tap the screen and follow us if you're not.
As Mido is speak, I just want to say that guys, can you, if you have not tapped the screen and shared this live, may you please do that. Let's tap the screen. Let's get our likes to 50,000 likes, and let's share this this live so that other people are able to join. And again, let us follow each other here. If you have not followed us, just follow us. Click there on that plus sign. Let's follow each other and connect.
Yes.
Over to you, Mido.
Okay. Good day, everyone. Yes. I think for mine, because I've already asked questions and I was already answered. So for me now is to say, it's just compliments. Everything that was said today. To be honest, it's new to me. I've seen scholarship. I studied with Lesy. She always, Lesy always hosted the international scholarships, and I was like, no matter why, because we are in South Africa, So I always thought it was hard for me. It was the age thing. I have kids, and I also didn't know that how is it gonna go about because I have kids. But it was also answered today. So I just want to say, yeah, it's still a compliment to say I got my answers today as well. So also, I think my question would be the whole thing of, yes, I'm working. Yes, I'm going to take that leave. But then am I going to get a stipend? Because remember, even if I take the leave without, it's going to be unpaid leave. So meaning I'm not gonna get paid. Yes. But say I have a house somewhere I still have to pay my bond somewhere. So I'm thinking, how will I pay it? Am I still getting a stipend, or is it just my scholarship being paid? That's a question. Just keep it in mind because before I forget. Also, um, I wanted to say, like we're studying abroad as well. My question is also saying that yes, I'm studying, like am I not held in prison for that? That there are scholarships or bursaries where they would say, because we paid for everything, you need to work for us for another year or an extra year. That's another question. Please keep it in mind, my host. uh, and I think also what I've learned as well from today is that, and I want to give an advice to everybody that sometimes we don't really ask, like where we work, we don't really go there to ask what is this and that. For me, to be honest, this whole thing of taking unpaid leave for a year, if I'm going to study abroad, I didn't know about it because nobody ever told me about it. So I was like, even if I looked at scholarships and I saw that it's a year, I was also thinking, what about my work? Even before I had kids, I didn't know about that. That, okay, I could have taken an unpaid leave, went to study, and came back. But what I've also realized is that probably they don't tell us because, yes, once you are back after a year, you just work for that month. You even give notice that month, and then because you've grown, you've which is good. You've grown, you've learned a lot, and now you wanna explore more. So I also understand that they don't tell you because they see that when you come back, you just forget about where you work. So, but speaking to everyone who's here, I'm just saying for it, at times it's also good to ask for it. I have this opportunity. Can I get it and I pay leave because it's there? Especially for me, I'm also like Lesy. Lesy is in military. I'm at the SAPS. So some benefits, we don't have benefits like the people who are working at the Department of Health. For us, you still have to go to the office to ask questions and then to get answers. With Department for Health, I know they already, the benefits are there, they are closed, they tell you, so for everyone who's here, I'm just saying for them, go to HR and ask. And then my other last question, with the other questions I've asked, I'm also asking about the age. I know with bursaries there's an age limit mostly, but with scholarships, because of it's abroad, and for me it was like, what about my family, what about my work? I never really looked into it. But then, is there such of an age limit? Is there such of paying other fees that you are not, you cannot be able to pay? So this is going back to the host as well. But thank you for today's lessons. I'm taking it all with everything that I have, and I'll go back to my drawing board because of this session. I thank you. I'm blessed to hear all of this today. Tomorrow you might hear that I'm at Island. You never know. You never know. And also, I also with the island, like I asked for with the English, that the person that comes from South Africa, whatever. Also, when you go abroad, you're thinking, am I not gonna be lost because of the language that I speak? Is Ireland a friendly, because they can speak English, but is it also a friendly place for me who's coming from South Africa? I'm from okay. Lesy is a friend of mine, so I'm thinking I'm from South Africa. I wouldn't wanna be lost even if I go to UK. I wouldn't wanna be stressed when I'm there. But I just also wanted to ask if, yes, I'm accepted today, but does it mean I'll be safe? Does it mean I'm gonna be, the communication, English versus English? Will I still be safe in that?
English versus English. I think you've answered yourself.
Yes.
You've answered yourself. English versus English.
Yeah, am I gonna be safe? Am I not gonna feel left out as well? It's like going to Devon and they speak Zulu and you don't understand Zulu. It's one of those things. So,
Okay, Rodney and Dombi will give you their take.
okay, thank you so much.
She gave us 4 questions, ne?
Yes, my sister.
Rodney, which one will you answer?
I will take the simple ones, the ones that I can remember.
Okay.
Don't ask questions as they follow on.
The first one, to reiterate, the first one was about a stipend.
Let me answer the last one and the first one.
Okay.
So, yeah, the last one you asked about the age, right?
It was the third one. It was the third one.
You guys, your memory is good. No, that's fine. I'll take the third one. So with age, so different scholarships have got different requirements. So, for example, the one that Lesy has applied, the Kader Asmal Fellowship Program or the Ireland Africa Fellows that covers the whole continent, but not all countries, of course. There's no age restriction, but there is the France South Africa scholarship that is closing on the 8th this week for master's program in France. It has got an age restrictions. It's like 28 or 29. So that one has it. So it really depends, but most scholarships don't have an age restriction, which is good. Number 2,
post-grad scholarships.
Most post-grad, yeah. Most
And it's
because
also
undergrad,
side.
yeah, with undergraduate, they expect you to have, you should be done with your matric there by then. Number 2, then.
Also, sorry, Rodney, while you're on that point, it's also important to highlight that some scholarships, they work on a rise by size type of tiering, where undergrad will have a lower age restriction than a master's. So masters may be a higher age restriction, PhD will be a higher age restriction.
Yeah.
Because they expect you to be not at a certain point by a certain age, but they're just trying to have a particular catchment area.
Yeah. And then so when it comes to stipends, you asked a question about stipends there. So a stipend for a scholarship, it's standard. So whether, like, for instance, I think it's also important to note that so different employers will have got different policies in terms of how the issue of studying works out. I know of some employers will still pay their staff full salary, and of course, like Lesy said, some may pay half. It differs from employer to employer. So that one it should be, but with stipend you're gonna get it. It also varies in terms of what that scholarship is offering. So it might be that, for example, maybe if it's there might be a scholarship that pays like maybe 20,000 South African rand, which is tax-free per month. There might be another scholarship that pays 15,000, 14, 13,000. So it depends. But of course, like that amount, it's calculated that it's gonna be able to cater for you to do your things and it also depend on your circumstances, your financial commitments and all that. So it all varies. And I think you gave an advice that people should go to their HR and read their HR policy. So at least it gives you a broader view of how you can do that. And then maybe the last part before I give Tommy to answer the other questions. I think there was also a question about friendliness. I don't be when Mido asked, I saw Reldin. I think Reldin is here on the line. I'm not sure if she's here.
Reldin must come up.
So Reldin, if you are here, you should come up. Reldin said Ireland is very friendly. It's because Reldin is also an alumni of the Kader Asmal scholarship. She's still in Ireland as we speak, so it will be nice to also hear from her. But yeah, Ntombi, you can answer the other ones.
Okay, just to also add, as students in Ireland or in other international countries, you are also allowed to work part-time. But then it's up to you whether it is a professional or labor work. I have worked as a packer in Tesco, where I was getting 5,000 rand per month. I'm now currently working as a IT technician.
5,000 per week.
Per week. Hey, forgive me. Sorry, 5,000 per week. Now I'm working as a ISS IT technician support at level 1 for the university. and it's a professional position, so it comes with pension and all of that. And I get, how much do I get? It can be 1.4 times 20.
Yeah, something like almost 30 grand.
Yeah, almost 30,000 per month. And then on top of that, I still get my stipend, which is over 40,000 per month.
So we're talking 70,000 rand per month.
Yeah, so I get like 75,000 rand per month. This is all tax free because as a student, they don't consider your stipend. When you're applying for a position, if it's less than 46,000 euros per annum, you don't get taxed. And I've also had colleagues like Bashir, he's not Dr. Bashir, who was working in a professional job where he was earning where he could be taxed. So he was getting his stipend and he was getting his salary. Now he's working as a postdoc. He says he prefers doing another PhD because PhD plus additional, na big money, you know? So that's the other thing I also wanted to highlight.
Also, Dominique, please highlight the kid issue.
Yes. Which one, na kid issue again?
That you're staying with your kid.
What? Right. Yes. In terms of also worrying about affording life where you are, like me affording life here in Ireland. I am on a PhD scholarship. I also work. I've also got a 14-year-old daughter who has joined me. So what I did, I was working full-time in South Africa for a tertiary institution. And I quit my full-time job to come and become a student. You know, some people have that self-limiting belief. They worry about, oh my God, what's going to happen? I didn't, because I had a goal. I was intentional. I said, I knew my PhD is going to get me somewhere. So I quit my full-time job, even though they were willing to hold my position, give me a sabbatical, whatever the case may be. I said, I'm not interested. So my daughter, I left her for 8 months. It was tough. It was not easy, but we all knew it was for a reason. She joined me a year later, and she's now in her third year. She started first year, second year. Now she's in her third year of high school. Schooling here is free. I don't pay for her school fees. I don't pay for books. I don't pay for stationery. So now, those are the type of things. That's why it's also important to do the research, guys. We can't answer all the questions in terms of your personal circumstances, because to each their own, you know? And it's also important, like we always say, you need to understand what your intention is. You have to have a goal in mind, because that nights when this PhD is giving me stress, and it's only because I have a target, then I remember there's a reason I'm here. I have to put in the work. I have to trust the process. It's going to get me to where I want to get to. So those are the other things. I think Lindiene, when she was here, she said within the first few months, she was on a Kader Asmal scholarship. Her stipend made it possible for her to pay her car off in South Africa, because accommodation is catered for. You don't have to worry about paying for your accommodation. Your schooling is catered for. Your medical insurance is catered for. So the money that they're giving you is basically to buy grocery. And I mean, if you're here, it's not as if you're going to now say, I'm going to live the kind of life where I know I go out to Primi, I drink here. No, you're here for a reason. So, and I know Raldine will talk about it, that you have to be serious. There is no sleep for those who are looking to achieve. What was the other question?
I think you covered.
Did I cover?
You cover. I think you covered them. Yeah.
Covered everything.
Okay.
If you were saying I'm sold.
Yeah, and the other thing is, yes, Ireland is not only friendly, but it is an English country. So yes, they speak Gaelic, but it's not like it's like where you have to speak English and Afrikaans in workplaces in South Africa. No, it's English.
Yeah.
If they're speaking Gaelic, they're communicating amongst themselves. I know in their schools they may say the child needs to do Gaelic, but if my daughter didn't do Gaelic from grade 1, so she's exempted from doing it in high school.
And Domfuti, before we get to the wonderful Raylene, maybe cover Reldine, sorry. Maybe cover the next steps for Mido, because she said she's sold. What must she do?
Mido, this is what the next steps are. You need to do exactly as Lesy has done. We have a study abroad masterclass where it first helps you to identify your unique selling point, because that is very important when you're articulating why you are the ideal candidate. You're looking at your passions, skills, your lived experiences, and a sustainable development goal, or a social ill that you are concerned about. Because as you would know from your interactions with Lesy, you have to have an SDG in mind, because the question will come, how is this course going to help you advance the priority SDG in your country? And that's another thing. SDGs priorities differ from country to country. So you need to know what your country's own priority SDGs, top 3, what they are. Okay. And I think another thing that we don't always talk about, but we should try and push, is especially for those who are looking for postgrads, take initiatives in your local communities to try and assist with something. Whether you are a tutor to matriculants, whether you're teaching people subsistence farming, whether you're educating people about recycling, whether you are look for something, because those things, they look so well on a personal statement. They make you stand out, because like we've always said, they are looking for people who are looking to resolve the issues or the social ills that the world faces, right? And then another thing is that with our masterclass course, it teaches you how to search for these fully funded scholarships, like your opportunity circle, your Euraxis, your find a PhD. How do you actually navigate in the websites to search for what you're looking for? It also goes into a fourth and fifth industrial revolutions, applying tech for good. And Ayanda always stresses the fact that people need to know within your own industry, how is tech being applied for good? I mean, a typical classification is this AI conversations that we're having. Is it good? Is it bad? How do we make it African? How do we use it ethically? How do we use it to treat water? How do we use it to resolve social ills? Be within those conversations. I think we also do preparations for your interviews, how to write a personal statement. I don't know if we do how to get ready before you leave, something to that effect. But we've also got an ebook for personal statements, how to write personal statements. It gives you tips, it gives you examples. We've got a scholarship database with over 50 links to make your search even easier. So we have tried though, people. You people must get scholarships. So I think that's the next thing. And with the study abroad masterclass, you also get the opportunity to write your first draft of a personal statement, send it to Ayanda and myself. We go through it and we give you feedback as to where you need to adjust. And that is what you would use as your basis. And as you apply to your different scholarships, obviously it's going to tweak and change depending on what the scholarship or the program you're applying to is looking for.
Well articulated, Miss B. Raldine, hi, Irish woman.
Let's follow
Hello, how's
Rendine,
everyone
people.
doing?
Guys, let's follow
Good.
Rendine. Please, those of us who are here, let's follow Rendine. Let us be gracious to her.
Okay.
Yes.
She's got
Can I
41
just-
followers. No,
Let me follow her.
let's follow Rendine. Please, let's follow her. Let's
You are
boost
the
her.
one doing this to Raldine.
before I go out, Miss B
I was
and
there.
Miss B and our host.
Yes.
Before I go down, I wanted to ask: is there an average for a master's student? Like for me, I'm doing masters. Like Lesy was saying, for she needed to apply back. I started before her, so I'm doing my masters with University of Pretoria. So now I wanna ask for me to apply for a PhD with the scholarship. Is there an average? And for somebody who wants to do masters, is there a particular average before you apply? Is there that's my last question now. To say, do we
Okay.
have an average to go in before we motivate everything? Is an average important as well?
Okay. So first, when it comes to masters, different scholarships will have different requirements, right? But we always say, for example, Lindy, she's our poster child. Kader Asmal wanted an average of 75%. She had an average in her 60s. Because of her personal statement, the way she was able to articulate and motivate why she's the ideal candidate, she's now graduating this year. She got the scholarship, she has completed. When it comes to masters, they'll also say they want first class, second upper class, so forth and so forth. But let me give you a tip. Now I'm going to be your supervisor.
Amen.
For my masters, I had supervisors who liked throwing us in the deep end. When you finish your literature review, they will say, go and apply for that conference. You are going to write a literature review paper that you are going to present. Then that is a publication. Then you do all your final calculations and everything. They say, write a paper that's going to be published in a journal. That's another publication. So when I applied for my PhD, I was also a cited author. So now that elevated my advantage as compared to other people. And what I did in my personal statement is, instead of me saying that I am a researcher, I have published, I attached the links to my publications. And in my interview, they had all read my publications. So now you have to find ways of saying, supervisor, is there where we can publish? Once you've published, get a ResearchGate profile and put it there.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
you.
Rodney's complaining about time and he wants to listen to his daughter.
His protege, please, Reldine.
I'm going down. Thank you so
We don't
much.
know yet. I'm answering your question actually.
Yes, go for it, Reldine.
Awesome stuff. I actually created this TikTok for Rodney specifically. That's why I don't have followers.
Reldine, they were asking whether your account is private or not. I'm not sure if maybe people are finding it difficult to follow you. I don't know.
I have no idea. I'll have to check that. I'm not well versed with TikTok. I only come on here for your lives.
All right, go ahead.
I'll actually check it. Mido, just to answer your last question there, I actually know of someone who had like 52% average and they got the Kader Asmal scholarship and they have successfully completed their master's degree. So it's just dependent on how well you motivate, and honestly, you know, like your personal statement should stand out. They don't really like focus much on the results as much as they might like put in their requirements that it's results driven, but they don't. I always tell people, you know, the most important thing is to take a chance. You have nothing to lose by getting rejected. You just go and apply for the next scholarship. At least you've tried, you know, and you gain like experience from that by applying for different scholarships. You start learning what the actual requirements are and how you should write. You start becoming more confident in writing personal statements. You start becoming more confident in doing interviews, etc. It doesn't necessarily only prepare you for interviews for scholarships, but for the work environment as well. So eventually, when you are done studying and you have to do interviews, you wouldn't need a week to prepare for an interview. Yes, you'd pretty much just need 30 minutes and then you go and bowl them over in that interview, which is like something I like do all the time because I've done like so many interviews, honestly. Your other question was about Ireland being friendly. Honestly speaking, this is a personal point of view. I love Ireland wholeheartedly. I currently live in Ireland. I came to Ireland in 2022 to do my master's degree. I completed my master's. I'm an electronic engineer by profession. I currently work as a project engineer in Ireland. I've moved around companies as well in Ireland. There are tons and tons of opportunities. I heard in Tombi throwing around numbers. So just to motivate you a bit more, she said she was making 5,000 per week while working at Tesco. So just to let you know, I was doing events while I was studying and I currently still do filming. So for those of you that love movies and series, I know you'd know this one. I'm in Wednesday season 2. Go watch it and see if you can spot me. I've done like tons of filming. I filmed with Christian Grey, Paul Rudd, the Bridgerton lady, Phoebe Dynevor. So I've done like all of that. And just to let you know about numbers, in filming, I would make roughly 5,500 rand per day. Per day. And when I was doing events, I would just go and work about 4 or 5 hours doing an event. I would roughly make 2,500 rand for about 5 hours. So just to let you know, there's tons of opportunities. There's a lot of things that you can get involved in. The most important thing is to network. Go out there and put yourself out there. It's very important to meet people. Don't be shy. No one will bite you or eat you up. You just go sign up for all these events. While I was in school, I used to miss some of my classes in order for me to go and network because I knew There's much more beyond that master's degree. It's very important to focus on your master's, yes, but you need to think about the future as well. You can't just be soaked up in that 1 year or that course as a whole. You need to dedicate time, whether it be your weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. Make sure you take off some time. Sleep less, please. Our people sleep too much. Yo, we sleep too much. Why
You have
are people-
started, Reldine.
Yeah, I don't
Rendition
understand.
started again.
Serious. No, this is the thing. I always ask people, why are you sleeping 8 hours a day if you know you want to apply for a master's degree that is closing on Wednesday? Why are you sleeping for 8 hours on Sunday? Like, come on, cut 3 hours, guys. Like, some weeks you just have to like sleep 5 hours every day. You catch up over the next weekend once you've submitted, etc. If you have to prepare for interviews, stop having excuses that you have to sleep and all that. Just cut some time. Stop going to groove. I'm not saying don't groove, ne? But we need to prioritize. That's one thing I've learned. Our people don't know how to put their priorities straight. If groove is part of your plan, yeah, it's fine. But at least if you go to groove every weekend, cut one weekend and focus on the most important things, or cut 2 weekends and like just work on personal statements, motivational letters, applications, etc. And then you continue with life again. People always ask me how many hours I have a day. I tell them I have 36 hours because I make the extra 12 hours. And that's because I don't sleep 8 hours a day. I don't see the purpose of sleeping 8 hours a day. If I have like a deadline on Wednesday, I honestly don't see why I would be sleeping 8 or 10 hours today to get that workout. I never like submit things on the deadline. I'm always way ahead. I'd submit a month or weeks in advance, especially when it comes to scholarships, and people don't take this seriously. One thing I've realized about scholarships, they will roll them out and say, okay, the application deadline is on the 1st of December. But what you need to realize is if you are one of those people who submit on the 29th or 30th of November, a day or two before the deadline, what some scholarships do is they have a system that automatically kicks out the other people. So they will take the first 100 in the system, and those are the people that they're going to evaluate. And the ones that come in after that 100, they automatically get kicked out, and you'll be like, oh, but I had
Why
the
did I
best
not
motivation
qualify?
in
Yeah.
I had the best motivation in the world. I have an 88% average. They don't care about your 88% average. They'd rather prioritize someone with a 50% average that actually sent in an application way in advance, that actually took this deadline very serious and didn't like focus on that deadline and be like, I'll submit 3 minutes before the deadline. This is not university where you go and submit 3 minutes before your deadline just for Trinity not to kick you out, or for you not to get demeritated by your supervisor or your lecturer. So we don't do it like that. As soon as you see a scholarship that comes out, my sister, put time aside. Leave that group for this upcoming weekend. I know you want to go to Kunye or you want to see Maporisa there. Maporisa does not care. He's making 500,000 rand per gig there. When you are there worried about him, you are throwing your money away instead. Go there, do an event or whatever, get money, go and set up the tables for Maporisa. You get paid and you still get to see him. Instead of you just going there wasting your money and you still have to buy all those savannas that are like 150 rand each. Our people need to start prioritizing. That's the thing. Start working on scholarships. There are tons and tons and tons of scholarships out every day. I literally sleep on my LinkedIn. I browse LinkedIn. I see so many opportunities being shared. There's opportunities on YouTube, TikTok, this platform. Ever since I came on here, I realized, wow, people are sleeping on TikTok. They are just making dance videos, whereas there are so many opportunities on here. There's lots. There's so many platforms. All you have to do is go on Google and say scholarship opportunities for 2025, 2026, whatever the case might be. And you see a whole list. You need to learn how to do research. You need to learn how to read and to start filling out stuff. There's no time to be lazy. I know it's not nice doing these applications. They are very lengthy. The Kader Asmal one, we went through like about 5 or 6 stages. It's a tedious process, but I promise you, it's so rewarding. Once you get that offer letter and you've signed everything and you know it's time to pack your bags and you now have to come to Ireland, it's all done and dusted. It takes extremely long, but it requires hard work and dedication. You really need to want this so bad in order for you to get it. And the other thing is, don't fear rejection. You're not going to get everything the first time around. If you get rejected for the scholarship, it's okay, move on. There's Chevening, there's Fulbright, there's all the others. There's a whole lot of scholarships. You can always apply for the Kader Asmal one again next year, but don't give up and be like, I got rejected. I'm not worthy of a scholarship. Oh, like my marks are too low or this and that. No, just go for the other one, apply for another one, and you start getting better. The more you do it, you get better at all these things. Like, you'll start learning how to write better. You'll start becoming more confident in doing these interviews. And, and the other thing is, like, once you apply for one scholarship, always save the information. Don't do the scholarships on the site itself and just submit. I always have this problem with people just applying there and submitting. Someone just came back to me a few days ago saying they applied for the Kader Asmal scholarship, but they don't know what they applied for in the their first stage. Now they need that information in the second stage. I always say, save the information. Copy and paste everything on a Word document and save it. Make folders for yourself on your laptop. Say Kader Asmal, Chevening, whatever you want to name them. Make it easy. That information is going to help you to fill in all the other scholarships. If you have to write another personal statement or a motivational letter for another scholarship, this one will guide you to the next, and your life becomes so much easier. If it takes you 3 hours to do an application now, next time it will take you 2 hours. It will eventually take you 1 hour, and then it becomes 30 minutes or 50 minutes because you have all the information saved. Your life then ends up becoming so much easier. Save all the information and just keep applying. Eventually, you will get one. One will come your way.
And another thing to also keep in mind is that to keep yourself motivated, the cohort keeps changing. As Reldine said, if you get rejected this year, maybe next year cohort is different. Like Ayanda always says, I'll always tell her that I got the first application, I got accepted for my scholarship, and I was chosen from 70 candidates. And she says, no, what was the quality of those candidates? So so guys, like, I think the self-limiting beliefs, they really cripple us. And they are the ones that stop us from reaching for these opportunities. But keep on going. Don't sleep. Reldine has said it.
Also, Reldine, can you all address the issue of age? Because I think you were the one who spoke about one of the candidates in your cohort. Who was
when it
advanced
comes
in age.
Yes, when it comes to age, it depends. It's honestly dependent on the scholarship. A lot of the masters and PhD scholarships, honestly, there would be age restrictions. But like the Kader Asmal one, they honestly have no age restriction there. In my cohort, we had people that were over 50, to be honest. They were doing their master's degrees. So you just have to look out for that. And if there's some of them that have age restrictions, obviously wouldn't apply for that if you are not within that limit. So just go for the ones that don't limit you at all. And most of the masters ones, honestly, they are like 35 years. And if you're under like 35, you still have a great chance at applying for them. But honestly, just go for those that don't limit you or will throw you out. Some of them would say, okay, the limit is 35 years of age for a master's degree. However, we will like look at people who are out of those bounds. So honestly, also don't feel like, no, I'm not meeting the requirements in terms of age. They will still consider you if you are like, maybe 37 or even 40 years old. So just take a chance. You have nothing to lose, honestly. I don't fear rejections. I get them like all the time, whether it be job applications, whether it be scholarships or whatever. I just keep
Reject
going.
you for a job.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes they tell me I'm overqualified even for jobs. So I'm like, hey, yeah, I'll take it where people think I'm, not so overqualified. So yeah.
Love it. Okay, I
Ayanda?
think Rodney wants to wrap up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need to leave. So like what I can say is that I think for those who are applying, of course, for the Kader Asmal, it's all the best. I think this scholarship has grown so much over the past few years, that now it's that big thing, and all the best to that. And also to say that, there are scholarships that are closing this week. I won't stress this enough. Chevening is closing on the 7th, on Tuesday, and then Commonwealth is closing on the 14th of this month, and the France South Africa scholarship is closing on the 8th. So yeah. So if people still need to apply, just go and read those information. So it's the Chevening scholarship for the UK for masters that is closing on Tuesday, Commonwealth scholarships for masters and PhD that is closing on the 14th of October 2025. And which one did I say? Oh, and what? There's South African France scholarship that is closing on the 8th of October. So those are the scholarships that are closed. So guys, please go ahead and read the information. It's there. You can go to the Department of Higher Education and Training scholarship section, or you can just search them on Google. Chevening scholarship, Commonwealth scholarship, whatever, France scholarship, and information will pop up in there. So please, Assemble talk, Assemble, go and apply for these opportunities. They are there for you. So thank you so much, Ayanda Uplifted Abroad, for she hosting us today. And guys, I wish you the best. We'll keep in touch. Reldin, we'll see you soon.
Cheers, Rodney.
Cheers. Bye, guys. Bye, Lesy.
Bye.
Thank you,
Lisa,
Rodin.
Mido.
Thank you,
Bye.
Lesy, for actually initiating this live. I thank you, Reldin, for always telling the people not to sleep. And thank you for those who came up to ask questions. You are muted, host.
Sorry, I just wanted to see if there's someone who looked like they wanted to come up. Oh, okay, no.
Oh.
Thank you so much, Lesy, for your for your story, for sharing your story and opening up this conversation with us. I'm very proud of you for the steps that you've taken. You are an intentional hand. You did not stop and you listened. So, Mido, be like your friend. Listen. Apply. Go.
And we do judge.
Get the study abroad masterclass. Do it. Do what you need to do to get what you need to get. Okay, we don't want to come. We don't want to come back again, and then you say no, you did not apply A, B, C, D. And again, I always say, don't ask us when is the next life. When is
We
the
don't
next
know.
life is in kingdom come Harit. We never know, right? So act on the information that you get when you have access to us. Lesy knows that I always say this, right? But what I love about you, Lesy, is you actually push for your goals and you didn't look back. Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Till next time.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Yes, bye.
Bye.
Thank you.